Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
The case against former Jetstar pilot Greg Lynn has been branded a disgrace by his lawyer as the 5-week trial draws to its end. Lynn, 57, has pleaded not guilty in the Supreme Court of Victoria to the murders of Russell Hill, 74, and Carol Clay, 73, in the Wanangata Valley, in the state's Alpine region on March 20, 2020. On Monday, Lynn's barrister Dermot Dan KC attacked the prosecution case against his client. This is a prosecution case that has bumbled and stumbled its way out of the problematic category that it started into unequivocally and unmistakably into the category of hopeless. Completely hopeless, Mr. Dan said. The jury heard the Crown case had been ruined by the half-baked prosecution, particularly by Crown prosecutor Daniel Porcetu, whom Mr. Dan compared to the bumbling fictional Inspector Clouseau, culminating in a final address today that was so desperate it broke time and time again a well-established rule in these courts, a rule of fairness, Mr. Dan said. That final address today by my learned prosecutor was so desperate that a rule that's been in existence and well known to criminal lawyers, it's been in existence for 130 years, was breached time and time again. It was a disgraceful performance. Absolutely disgraceful. Earlier, Mr. Porcetu urged the jury to reject any notion the campers died by accident. You've heard the accused gave a version of events in his interview and in the witness box last week. For reasons I'll go into in due course, the prosecution says that account is completely fanciful, he said. You can comfortably reject it as being an elaborate fiction. Mr. Porcetu's closing address follows Lynn's appearance in the witness box last week. Dressed neatly in a suit and dark-rimmed spectacles, the former pilot spoke in a cool and calm manner as he took the jury through the details of what police allege was cold-blooded murder. The jury heard Lynn claim the couple died after Mr. Hill stole his shotgun and the pair engaged in a deadly struggle for control. I don't know if he intended to shoot me or not, probably not, Lynn told the jury. I think he was just trying to keep the shotgun for himself and scare me off. The jury heard Lynn had been sitting near his campfire by the river when he saw Mr. Hill take his shotgun and load the magazine. The doors of Lynn's Nissan Patrol had been left wide open to liberate all the music from his car stereo, which in the pilot's own words was done in a childish effort to annoy Mr. Hill after a previous run-in with him. While Lynn has always denied murdering the couple, the jury heard he freely admitted to cleaning up the alleged crime scene and destroying the evidence. It was despicable, Lynn conceded. All I can say to the families is that I am very sorry for all of your suffering that I've caused. Yes, I should be punished for it. For what I did. The jury heard Lynn had offered to plead guilty to the destruction of evidence before going on trial, but it had been rejected by the prosecution. I am innocent of murder, he said. I am innocent of manslaughter too. I haven't killed anyone. Lynn claimed Mr. Hill accidentally shot Ms. Clay through the head as he attempted to wrestle the shotgun away from him. Pressed upon the bull bar of Mr. Hill's Land Cruiser, Lynn claimed Mr. Hill pulled the trigger, blasting off the side mirror and hitting Ms. Clay directly in the head. Mr. Hill died moments later after falling on his own knife during another struggle, Lynn claimed. The spat had allegedly been sparked by Mr. Hill's supposed dislike of deer hunting. According to accused, this unfortunate series of events is said to start with one thing, Mr. Hill being hostile towards him because he was a deer hunter, Mr. Porcetu said. He concocts a version of events that puts Mr. Hill as aggressor and him as the victim in a campsite spat. In closing the case, Mr. Porcetu ran the jury through all of the evidence they have been presented over the past month. He tells you Mr. Hill and Ms. Clay both died accidentally in separately instantaneous, or near instantaneous, fatal incidents both brought about by the conduct of Mr. Hill, Mr. Porcetu said. The accused story is indeed a series of very unfortunate events. Like the book series of that name, it is also a complete fiction. Mr. Porcetu claimed Lynn had made further errors in